Suntarian nodded. Well, he said, a glint coloring his crystal eyes, this is the place for me. No crowds and no questions. Over here, boy, he motioned as I pulled a trolley loaded with supplies into the tavern. Park it here and load my portmanteau. It looks as though I'll be staying here a wee bit. He patted my shoulder. How old are you, laddie? 13, sir. Ah, it's a right good age to be. You're old enough to be fearless and young enough not to know better. He put his arm around my shoulder and pulled me closer. I'll tell you this, and it's no lie, I'm a no-frills guy. My needs are simple. Give me liquid fire, biscuits, and bacon and I'm a happy man. Sitting by this window is the perfect place to drink, and keep track of the starships coming and going in New Providence. My father inclined his head and eyed the Suntarian's empty flagon. What's your name, stranger? Friends and foe alike call me Skipper. He reached into his breast pocket and threw several gold ploofs on the bar. When I drink them dry, he said, his eyes ablaze, there'll be more to follow. Although his clothes were shabby and he spoke, roughly, he carried himself as a man accustomed to others' obedience. As liquid fire loosened his tongue, the stranger told us how he arrived in New Providence. He booked passage on a freighter from Tortuga in the hinterlands of the Outer Rim. Once he set foot upon land, he asked what inns offered an unobstructed view of the port. Hearing ours described as inconspicuous, he chose it for his lodging. Try as we might, we pried nothing more from him that day, no matter how much drink he consumed. The skipper, by habit, presented himself as a closed-mouthed man. All day he loitered around the fringes of Port Royal or in the lookout atop the crag. There he spent the day spying on the spaceport through his videoscope. In the evening, he sat at the bar with a heating coil in his flagon. He drank liquid fire laced with sparklers, and watched starships dock at the port. He rarely spoke unless someone spoke to him. The skipper looked up, eyes blazing and blowing smoke through his nose like a dragon. My father and I, along with our regulars, soon learned to let him be. Every day, when he came back from his jaunt across the bay, he'd ask if anyone saw other Suntarians in town. At first, we thought he asked because he missed the company of his own kind. In time, we realized he asked because he wished to avoid them. When another Suntarian took a room, he eyed him from outside before entering the tavern. When he did, the skipper engaged his anti-gravity belt to remain as silent as a shadow. One day I got up the nerve to ask about his trepidation. The skipper looked furtively in both directions and took me aside. He promised an eighth of a gold ploof every month if I kept watch for a spacefaring man with a mechanized arm. He took hold of my shoulders. Tell me the moment one appears. I was more than happy to earn the extra coin. As usual, each month when I asked for my pay, the skipper snorted, stared me down until I averted my eyes, and said nothing. However, as usual, before the week ended he thought better of it and gave me my pay. Then he would repeat his orders. Look out for the spacefaring man with a mechanized arm. Over time, the mystery man haunted my imagination. On stormy nights, when the wind rattled the roof, and lightning crackled across the sky, I saw him in my dreams. He had fire in his eyes and a demonic smile on his face. Some nights the mechanized arm sprouted a hook and glowed white-hot. On other nights it morphed into a chainsaw that snarled with menace. On moonless nights, he sported 8 mechanized arms like a monstrous squid. He leapt from the cove and pursued me over hill and dale, through dark alleys and across rooftops. More often than not, I paid a pretty price in the form of these ghoulish nightmares